يقول راجي عفو رب سامعي محمد بن الجزري الشافعي: الحمد لله وصلى الله على نبيه ومصطفاه محمد وآله وصحبه ومقرئ القرآن مع محبه. وبعد إن هذه مقدمة فيما على قارئه أن يعلمه، إذ واجب عليهم محتم قبل الشروع أولا أن يعلموا مخارج الحروف والصفات ليلفظوا بأفصاح اللغات، محرر التجويد والمواقف وما الذي رسم في المصاحف.
الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة والتسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا. وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا يا أرحم الراحمين. Oh Allah, teach us what benefit us, increase us in knowledge, in good morals and in good deeds, Ya Rabbal Alameen. So we continue by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings in explaining Al-Jazariyya, and we finished the Makhraj al-Dara last time, and now we move to the next Makhraj, which is the Makhraj al-Ta and the Dal and the Ta. Makhraj al-Ta and the Dal and the Ta. What does Imam Al-Jazari say, rahimahullah, in this? What does he say? Let's review together very quickly the Makharij. Makharij al-Huruf 17 على الذي يختاره من اختبر للجوف ألف وأختها وهي حروف مد للهواء تنتهي ثم لأقصى الحلق همز هاء ومن وسطه فعين حاء أدناه غين خاؤها والقاف أقصى اللسان فوق ثم الكاف أسفل والوسط فجيم الشميها والضاد من حافته إذ وليا الأضراس من أيسر أو يمناها واللام أدناها لمنتهاها والنون من طرفه تحت جعل والراء يدانيه لظهر أدخل والطاء والدال وتا منه ومن عليا الثنايا والصفير مستكن. That is the line we stopped at, which is line 16, verse 16. Please look at the verse on the screen. So this is the verse we're covering today, inshallah. This one. والطاء والدال وتا منه ومن عليا الثنايا والصفير مستكن. والطاء والدال, clear, right? وتا. Ta means what? Ta means what? Ta. The letter ta, right? So if you're in the Sunday school and one of the kids come to you and you tell him, say the alphabet, and he says, Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, don't shout at him, no, 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 no. Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, that's also right. Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jim, Ha, Kha, okay, that's also right, one of the Arab dialects. And we read that in Hafs also, right? You say Alif, Lam, Ra, or Alif, Lam, Ra. We say Ra, right? You say Ha, Mim, or Ha, Mim. We say Ha, Mim, right? So this is another dialect to say the letters. Now why Imam Al-Jazari, he said Ta, then he said Ta. He should say Ta and Ta, right? Or Ta and Ta. But he said Ta and with the Hamza, and he said Ta without a Hamza. Why? That's the easiest answer. For the rhyme, right? To keep the rhythm of the line, of the verse, okay? If he says وَالطَّاءُ وَالدَّالُ وَتَاءُ مِنْهُ, it's broken right away. So he said وَالطَّاءُ وَالدَّالُ وَتَا مِنْهُ وَمِنْ عليا الثنايا والصفير مستكن. Got it? Okay. والطاء والدال وتا. These are three letters. What about them? والطاء والدال وتا منه. What does منه mean? منه means what? منه means what يا حبيبي؟ يا حبيبي. منه means what? From it. From it. From what? From it. From what? From what? Huh? Let's see the line before it. What did he say in the line before it? وَالنُّونُ مِنْ طَرَفِهِ تَحْتُ جَعَلُوا. The noon from its طرف. The طرف of what? The طرف of what? Of the tongue. The noon is from the طرف of the tongue. Means what? طرف of the tongue means what? What's the term we use for it? Come on, guys. Like it's 11, like it's 12:15. It's not like 7:30 in the morning. Wake up. طرف of the tongue is what? طب ماشي. Middle of the tongue is what? وسط. So طرف is what? Front. Right? I showed you the picture many times. Now we're working about the طرف, the front part of the tongue. We're done with the root of the tongue. And the back part of the tongue, we had qaf and kaf. Then we move to the middle of the tongue, jim, shin, ya. Now we move to the front part of the tongue. First we had what? The lam, al. Then we have noon, an. Then we have ra, ar. All of using the front part or the tip of the tongue. So in the noon he said min tarafihi, from its front part. من طرفه تحت جعلوا والرا يدانيه لظهر أدخلوا والطاء والدال وتا منه. From it, from what? From what? From the طرف. From the طرف of the lisan. Means what? The front part of the tongue. Got it? So منه means what? From it. Then you write between parentheses from the front part of the tongue. How did we know? From the previous line, right? Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay. So when you're writing, this is how you're supposed to be taking notes. You write the verse 16. You write the verse, or you should have written it at home and prepared. Then you say, then والطاء والدال وتا منه. What do? You say منه. Trash. منه you say what? From. منه means what? From it. Then you say it means what? The front part of the tongue. Okay? From the front part of the tongue. وَالطَّاءُ وَالدَّالُ وَتَا مِنْهُ وَمِنْ. From it and from. وَمِنْ what? عُلْيَ الثَّنَايَا. عُلْيَ الثَّنَايَا. Then he says what? وَالصَّفِيرُ. Here we're done. Then he says وَالصَّفِيرُ مُسْتَكِنٌ. عُلْيَ الثَّنَايَا. Then he says وَالصَّفِيرُ مُسْتَكِنٌ. So until here, he's done with the ta and the dal and the ta. From it and from What? عليا الثنايا. يلا, what does عليا الثنايا mean? عليا الثنايا means what? عليا الثنايا. Thanaya are the incisors. Thanaya are what? The incisors. The upper front teeth. Okay? The upper front teeth and the lower front teeth, these are called, all of them are called what? Thanaya. The upper front teeth are called thaniyatain. So we have thaniyatain in the up and thaniyatain down, so they're thanaya, four teeth. The upper front teeth and the lower front teeth, they're all called what? Thanaya. Write down. Thanaya are the 4 front teeth. The upper ones, 2 upper ones, 2 lower ones. What does, from where does the ta and the dal and the ta come? From الثنايا العليا, the upper thanaya, or الثنايا السفلى? The lower, you say ad or at. The upper thanaya or the lower ones? The upper. So he said عليا الثنايا. عليا means what? وكلمة الله هي العليا. Allah's word is the superior, is the upper one. Right? Okay. So, عليا الثنايا means the upper front teeth. So that is the makhraj of the ta and the dal and the ta. Then he says, وَالصَّفِيرُ مُسْتَكِن. You don't say وَالصَّفِيرُ مُسْتَكِن. If you say وَالصَّفِيرُ مُسْتَكِن, that's wrong. It is mustakinnun. What is it? Mustakinnun. If you stop on it, how do you say it? You say mustakin. Mustakin, you make number. But if you say وَالصَّفِيرُ مُسْتَكِن, mustakin, that's wrong. Like what? Like what? يقول الإنسان يومئذ أين المفر. Same thing. It's أين المفر. It's not أين المفر. It's not أين المفر. If it's أين المفر, you say أين المفر. أين المفر. There's nothing called mafar in Arabic. I don't know what it means. In English, yes, we have the muffler of the car, right? Is it muffler or muffler? Huh? You have a car. Huh? Muffler. Muffler, I don't know what it means. So it is what? It is أين المفر. So when you stop, you say أين المفر. أين المفر. Same thing here. والصفير مستكن. Okay? الصفير مستكن, that's related to the sad and the zai and the sin. We're going to explain it inshallah next time. Today we have only this part. Yalla, let's read it. والطاء والدال وتا منه ومن. يلا يا عمو. والطاء والدال وتا منه ومن. والطاء والدال وتا منه ومن. يلا يا أخي. عليا الثنايا والصفير مستكن. عليا الثنايا والصفير مستكن. والطاء والدال وتا منه ومن. يلا يا عمو. Boys, only boys. يلا, let me hear you. Huh? All boys. You're a girl? All of you. يلا. يلا يا أخي. من هو من عليا الثنايا والصفير مستكن. يلا يا ولد. عليا الثنايا والصفير مستكن. Okay. So, ta, dal and ta, where are they produced? They are produced when the front part of the tongue, we're talking the front part, not the tip, right? You remember, right? We showed this so many times. This is the tongue, this is the front part. Now we're using this whole front part in these 3 letters, right? Okay? Do you notice that Imam Ibn al-Jazari is going in order? Do you notice? What does he start? What did he start with? The letters. He started from here, from the halq, from the jawf. Forget about the jawf. A, U, E. Anyway, even the jawf letters, they start from where? From the ones from the vocal cords, etc. From the air passage. Then he goes to where? To the halq. أقصى الحلق, far throat. أقصى الحلق همزة ها. وسط الحلق عين حاء. أدنى الحلق غين خاء. Then he goes to where? After that. The قاف. أدناه غين خاؤها والقاف. أدناه غين خاؤها والقاف. أقصى اللسان فوق ثم الكاف. So قاف then كاف. Then what? والوسط فجيم الشين يا. Middle of the tongue, jim, shin, ya. Then he moves on. وَالضَّادُ مِنْ حَافَتِهِ to the edges of the tongue. إِدْوَرِيَ الْأَضْرَاسَ مِنْ أَيْسَرَ وَيُمْنَاهَا وَاللَّامُ أَدْنَاهَا لِمُنْتَهَاهَا. He then tells us about what? The lam. Lam from here to here. Near to the end of the edge. وَالنُّونُ مِنْ طَرَفِهِ. Then he goes to the noon. تَحْتُجْعَلُ وَالرَّا يُدَانِيهِ. Then the ra from the tip. بظهر الأدخل. Then he says والطاء والدال وتا منه from the front part. You see, he's moving in a spatial order, we can say that. Moving in order based on the space or the makhraj or the places of articulation for the letters. He's going in order. Did you notice that? Okay. That will help you to memorize it and understand it. So, they are produced when we touch, or when the front part of the tongue touches what? عُلِيَ الثَّنَايَا. Touches what? عُلِيَ الثَّنَايَا means what? The upper incisors, the upper front teeth. So how is that? You touch the upper front teeth with the front part of the tongue. How? Like this? Like this? You touch them? What does he mean? Of course, obviously, you touch the gum of the upper incisors. Okay? You touch what? The gum of the upper incisors. Okay? So you touch the roof of the mouth just behind the top teeth. Just behind the top front teeth. Or the upper gum. Is that clear? Also, if we want to take it literally, it can be correct literally. Who can tell me why? Because when you say ta, atto, is not the front part of your tongue touching the upper teeth from inside. Say and feel. Atto, at. Look at the mirror, look at yourself and you see and you find that the front part of your teeth is touching your upper incisors from the front. Is this clear? So even if you want to take it literally, yes, we are touching the upper incisors from inside by what? By the front teeth, the upper front teeth. Got it, guys? Got it? But the commentators on Jazariyya, they say he means the gum of the upper front teeth, which is the main part, okay? The main part. But also it's touching the upper teeth from inside. Okay, we can add this just to understand. We notice that the front part of the tongue, I know I'm not fast in typing, guys. I did not take any course in it. We notice that the front part of the tongue also touches what? The upper front teeth. The upper front teeth from what's the word? From inside. Okay. Now, if the ta and the dal and the ta, as you can see here, Sheikh Ayman said, طرف اللسان, the front part of the tongue, with أصول الثنايا العليا, the root or the origin of the upper incisors, right, ya Sheikh? The origin or the root, pass it to me. Pass it to me. Quick, quick, quick. Pass it to me. Quickly, quickly. Quick, 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 quick. The front part of the tongue with أصول الثنايا العليا. You're gonna find them. أصول الثنايا العليا. I'm gonna defend them. أصول means what here? أصول الثنايا العليا means what? The root of the upper teeth. Where is the root of the upper teeth, guys? Where is it? Where is the root of the upper teeth? In the gum, right? In the gum. So he means the front part of the tongue with the upper gum. Tamam? So I'm trying to help you understand the verse literally and also within the context. Now, yalla, look at the picture and tell me the difference. If both of them or three of them, ta, dal, ta, as you can see, they are produced from, he did not make any distinction, Imam Al-Jazariyya, right? Did he make any distinction between them? He didn't. But we have to know the distinction between them. We have to differentiate between them. Yalla, how do you differentiate between them? Let's start with the ta. The ta is what? How many sifat we're working on every letter? Now we understand the makhraj. If ta and dal and ta, they have the same sifat, they will be the same letter. They must have different sifat. So let's learn every letter with its sifat so that we know how we distinguish it from the other one. First of all, we said the most important characteristic is what? Of the letters. Lightness and heaviness. Yalla, is the ta heavy or light? Heavy. So tell me which picture is the ta? On the right or on the left? On the right. Tamam? On the right. Why? Because the back part of the tongue is raised and the tongue is curved. Is it annoying or it's fine? Is the voice annoying or it's fine? It's fine? Fine? Okay. So, two things make the letter heavy. Not only one thing. Not only the back part of the tongue is raised. No, that's not enough. Because we have the waw. In the waw, the back part of the tongue is raised. But it's not curved. This is why the waw is light. So, two things make the letter heavy. What are they? The tongue is curved from the middle and the back part is raised. Tamam? Okay. Now, so first thing, the ta is heavy or light? Huh? Heavy or light? Heavy. That is the main distinction between ta and dal and ta. Same place, you're touching the same place. Up, at, and. Say up, say up, and, at. You're touching exactly the same place with the same thing. The front part of the tongue touching the upper gum. Now what makes them different? The first thing, ta is heavy. You're making the bar, you're raising the back part of the tongue. And this is one of the letters you don't have in Urdu. Do you? Do you? You don't have. This is why many non-Arab speakers, they say, فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ التَّامَّةِ ta, ta, ta. So they try to make ta, but what do? They make heavy ta. Ta, ta, ta. That's a heavy ta. You need to raise the back part of the tongue and curve it. Ta, ta, not ta, 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 ato, ta, 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 ato, ato. It needs practice. With the practice, mashallah, like you, you will learn it, right? Same thing with the kids. When you teach them and practice, they will learn it. So play with them and teach them. Tell them, say, ato, ta, 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 ato, 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 to, to, ti, 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 ato, 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 ato. Just with some practice, they can get it. So that's the first thing. What else about the ta? What is the other characteristic we're focusing on when we learn any letter? First of all, heaviness or lightness. Second, shidda and rakhawa. Is the ta shadid or rikhu? Is the sound cut off or flowing? Is the sound cut off or flowing? Can anyone make the sound of the ta flow? Up. It doesn't flow, right? Why? Can you let the sound of the ta flow? No. But dad, you can. You can. But ta, you cannot. Why? Because the makhraj is completely closed. So when the makhraj is completely closed, the sound is cut off. So the letter is shadid. It's shadid. And this is why, what do the Arabs do naturally to get rid of the shidda of the ta? What do? They bounce it. Apple. Tamam? Okay, so ta is heavy. Ta is shadid, and because it's shadid, it has qalqala. These are three characteristics, right? Three characteristics. Ato, yato, yuto, muhito. If you don't make qalqala, you say muhit. Almost is not there, almost is not heard, right? Muhit. What are you saying? What's the last letter? It's not clear. But when you give it its right, you give it its sifa, you say muhito. You see, very clear now. Muhito. Right? Okay. Yut'im is difficult. No. Yut'im, yuto, right? Yut'im, at'am, yut'am. Okay? Last sifa we're focusing on is what? Is the breath flowing or not? Hamis or jahar? Is the ta mahmus or majhur? Huh? Ato. Is it mahmus? Is the breath flowing? What are the hams letters? فحثه شخص سكت شديدها لفظ أجد قطن بكت مهموسها فحثه شخص سكت or مهموسها فحثه شخص سكت شديدها لفظ أجد قطن بكت right مهموسها the hams letters فحثه شخص سكت these are the hams letters ta is not مهموس so it is مجهول مجهول means voiced or voiceless voiceless means there is a breath with it means mahmus. Voiced means majhur. Means also it's like voiced, it's strong, it's heard. The voiceless one is not heard enough. This is why we make a breath with it, to make it heard. Like kuwirat. Right? Kuwirat. If you don't make the hams, you see it's voiceless. Kuwirat. Tamam? These are the main characteristics of the ta. Yalla, let's move to the exam. Any question? Any question on the ta? Okay. Yalla, be a tajweed expert. Make the ta heavy and give it its qalqala only when it has sukoon. Why? We give it its qalqala only when it has sukoon. Why? Because when it doesn't have sukoon, when it has a haraka, ta, tu, ti, the sound is flowing, so I don't need qalqala. I cannot even make qalqala. Right? Qalqala is to bounce after the makhraj is closed. So if the makhraj is bounced, is opened, you cannot make qalqala, it's already open. Right? Because qalqala is to open the makhraj after it's closed. Attu. So when you say ta, it's already open. Ta, tu, ti. So you cannot open it again, it's already open, right? Okay. What else? Do not let any breath flow with the ta. Why? Because why? It is what? Majhur means voiced. Tamam? Yeah, let's read the examples and we're done with the ta. Or we have one note before we move to the ta. Yeah, first example, very, very important. Let's add first ta with fatha, dhamma, kasra, so that also you practice and you remember to practice them. And shadda also, say for example, ta, or let's say dhamma. It should be there anyway. And we also have sukoon. We will have sukoon in the examples. Okay, yal. Ta, ta, tu, ti, الطامة فلا تكن من القانطين. Very important example. If you change the ta into a ta, that will make the meaning different. قانطين means what? فلا تكن من القانطين. بشرناك بالحق, right? فلا تكن من قالوا بشرناك بالحق. We have given you the glad tidings of the truth, or a true glad tiding. فلا تكن من القانطين. Don't be of the disparate ones, right? Don't be of the disparate ones. If you say فلا تكن من القانتين, as some students do, then it means what? قانتين means what? Qunut means what? Persistence in ibadah. Qunut is what? Persistence in ibadah. وَالْقَانِتِينَ وَالْقَانِتَاتِ. Right? إِنَّ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَالْمُسْلِمَاتِ, then وَالْقَانِتِينَ وَالْقَانِتَاتِ. Same thing there. If you say وَالْقَانِطِينَ, you change the meaning upside down. Same thing here. So is it don't be of those who are disparate, or don't be of those who are persistent in ibadah? Don't be of those who are disparate. So فَلَا تَكُنْ مِنَ الْقَانِطِينَ. You see what the heaviness makes? It changes the whole meaning. Right? This is why knowing some sifat is obligatory on the Muslim. But for example, if we skip the qalqala, if we say instead of yut'im, we say yut'im, that doesn't change the meaning. If we say Ar-Rahman, for example, instead of Ar-Rahman, that doesn't change it. But sometimes if you don't make the letter heavy, it will move to another letter. And this is why when we're going to talk in the next section about the ruling of Tajweed, what is the ruling of learning Tajweed? We will see that learning Makhraj of the letters and sifat some sifat of some letters is mandatory on the Muslim in order to read the Quran correctly and not to change the meanings. This is an example of that rule. Yeah. فَلَا تَكُنْ مِنَ الْقَانِطِينَ. All of you practice, guys. أَطْهَرُ لِقُلُوبِكُمْ. أَطْهَرُ, make the hamza light, huh? أَطْهَرُ, then the ha light, then the ra heavy. أطهروا لقلوبكم. أطهروا لقلوبكم. أطعمهم النفس المطمئنة. النفس المطمئنة يقنطون يقنطون ولا تشطط. We don't say ولا تشطط no. Make complete kasra and give qalqala. وَلَا تُشْطِطُ. وَلَا. Now, we have the mistakes when you have ta and ta together. You have to pay extra attention. Why? Because they're neighbors. Always when the letters are neighbors, you have to pay extra attention. وَلَا ta. تَلْطُ. Say, تَلْطُ. Say, تَلْطُ. وَلَا تَطْغَوْا. Keep your head free when you're practicing and practice. تَطْغَوْا. وَلَا تَطْغَوْا. يَلْتَقِطْهُ بَعْضُ السَّيَّارَةِ. Who knows what's the common mistake here? What's the common mistake here? I already... Huh? Not only that, the ta is not made heavy enough by some students. What is... There's a common mistake here. They say what? يَلْتَقِطُهُ يَلْتَقِطُ يَلْتَقِطُ. What's the mistake? Making dhamma on the top. And instead of making what? Sukoon and qalqala. Yal, also make the lam light. Yaltaqitu. Not yaltaqitu. Once you round your lips, you're making a dhamma. So don't round your lips unless there's a dhamma or waw. Yaltaqitu. Qituhu. يلتقطه بعض السيارة فول وجهك شطر المسجد الحرام. شطر. If you say شطر you change the meaning. شطر المسجد الحرام, you change the meaning. It's شطر. So qalqala, to bounce in the exact place of the letter. You don't open the mouth with it. You don't make any part of the haraka, fatha or kasra or whatever, as some students and imams or sheikhs do. They tell you, qalqala, you should make some kasra with it. يلتقط قيطي. No. يلتقط فولي وجهك شطر المسجد. يلا يا أخي. شطر المسجد. كلا لا تطيعه. تطي. Even the ta has kasra, still it's heavy, but it's in the least level of heaviness, but it's still heavy. تطي. Say tuti. This is a difficult word because it has ta, it has ayn, and it has ha. 3 letters that you don't have in English. And they came together in one word. So you have to pay extra attention. Cut it into parts and master every part, then connect them. La tuti. We don't la tuti'hu, la tuti'hu, la tuti'hu. La tuti. لا تطيعه. لا تطيعه واسجد واقترب. شطره فثبطهم. This word is extremely important because فثبطهم means he made them also like desperate. He made them like lazy to do their job. فَثَبَّطَهُمْ. The ayah says فَثَبَّطَهُمْ. If you make a ta, it means فَثَبَّتَهُمْ. It means he made them steadfast, which is exactly the opposite in that context. You see, another example how important pronouncing the letters correctly is. فَثَبَّطَهُمْ. يلا يا أخي. فثبطهم. I started noticing another mistake by one of you or some of you. He's not making the fatha clear enough. So he says فثبطهم. So with the fatha open your mouth right. فثبطهم. تمام. قالوا not only you. قالوا أنطقنا. Not an. If you say an, you make it light. This means the letter which is coming is light, but it's ta. So you make the gunna heavy. If you prepare your organs of speech correctly to the ikhfa letter, the gunna will be naturally correct, and here it will be naturally heavy. أنطقنا. أنطقنا. You don't say أنط, right? No. Sorry, huh? أنطقنا. قالوا أنطقنا الذي. ومن يقنط من رحمة ربه ومن يقنط من رحمة ربه إلا الضالون. Who gets desperate of the mercy of his Rabb, of his Lord, except for the misled ones or the lost ones? Means what? Means no one loses hope of the mercy of his Lord except for the lost ones, the misled ones. Means the guided ones never lose hope in Allah's mercy, right? The believers never lose hope in Allah's mercy. So وَمَن يَقْنَطُ, right? اهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. يلا يا أخي, quick. اهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. So make the ta heavy and make the lam light. اهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الطل. اهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. صراط صراط الذين فاصطادوا فاصطادوا. As you can see, most important examples you have. So just master them and you're fine. You're good. You will not have any examples which is more difficult. من طين. Same thing, huh? من طين. Now this is very tricky and important and difficult if you don't practice it. فمن اضطر. So you don't merge them. You don't say as 99% of people that I hear. فَمَنِ اضْطُرَّ. What do? They drop the dad, they stress the ta. MashaAllah, they make idgham by themselves. No, there's no idgham here. You have to show the dad, give it its rakhawa, and show the ta. فَمَنِ. Teach the kids to do the letter by letter. فَمَنِ. يلا يا أخي. فمن اضطر إلا من. Same thing, huh? إلا ما اضطررتم إليه. إلا ما اضطررتم إليه. You see, you need practice, right? These examples, wallahi, alhamdulillah, that Allah helped us to combine these examples. Just sit and practice them. Practice them. إلا ما اضطررتم إليه. يطير. فإذا جاءت الطامة. يطوف. والطور. The common mistake here is what? They say wa. والطور والطور, and make the lips, bring them back normal with the ra, not والطور, no, والطور. تمام. كالطود, كالطود. مسطور, مسطور. وكتاب مسطور. Okay, any question? Okay, last rule we take in the ta. Exceptional rule. When we have a ta that has sukoon followed by ta, a ta that has sukoon followed by ta, we will, Imam Al-Jazariyya will mention these rules later on. But since we're covering the ta, let's learn this rule, since we have in the Quran 4 or more words that have this rule. When we have ta that has sukoon followed by a ta, what should we do? Like ahattu, what do we do? Ahattu, look at the picture, look at the screen. If we have this word, what do we do? How do we read it? Look at the screen. Ahattu. Do we, the normal rule is to do what? Qalqal, right? We say ahattu, ahattu. But the Arabs do not do this at all. At all. They don't say ahattu. What's the other option? The other option is to drop the ta. So it becomes what? Ahattu. And none of the Arabs do this. None of the Arabs do this. None of the Arabs merge the ta because the ta is heavy. It doesn't accept to be merged into the ta, which is light. So what is the last option? The last option is something called incomplete idgham. What is it? Incomplete idgham. Idgham naqis. What do we do? We give the ta its itbaq. This is a sifa that we did not talk about. Okay? Itbaq means the sound is going up to the roof of the mouth, or the sound is constrained or imprisoned between the roof of the mouth and the tongue. So that is itbaq. The sound is imprisoned between the roof of the mouth and the tongue. So you make itbaq for the ta, up. You make itbaq up, then you end it with ta. Up to. Up to. So you don't pronounce the ta, you don't make qalqala, you just make the itbaq. You move the tongue to the position of the ta, then you pronounce ta. So how? Ahattu. So if someone is hearing you, you're doing it slowly, he thinks you're gonna say ta, right? Ahat, then you say ta. Ahattu. Got it? Got it? Huh? Ahattu. Ahattu. Basabta. Farrattum. Farrattu. Got it? So you start with a ta, you end with a ta, but no qalqala for the ta. As simple as this. So we should apply incomplete idgham. Because I don't have a cap. La hawla wa la quwwata. All this time I don't have a cap. Yalla, khair inshallah. The dars is still valid. The class is still valid. Okay. So, because the ta is a strong letter, I don't know, did I comb my hair or not? I don't know. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Okay. The ta is what? Is a strong letter. Why it's a strong letter? Because it has isti'la and itbaq. Itbaq means what? The sound is going up. The sound is going up because the tongue is up, going towards the roof of the mouth. Up. See how? Up. to, up to. تمام? So we do this by letting the tongue touch the place of the ta, huh? Up, up, by keeping its إطباق, then moving to the ta without قلقلة. تمام؟ أحط, بسطت, فرطت, فرطتم. Clear? Any question? So إطباق, let's write here إطباق. We will explain إطباق, but we'll just quickly here. The sound is imprisoned between the roof of the mouth and the tongue. Right? The sound is going up. Clear? Up to. أحط to. تمام? So we do it without قلقلة. That is called incomplete idgham. We did not drop the ta completely. What did we drop from the ta? It's قلقلة. We only drop is قلقلة.